case may be, and welcome to Carpenter Stadium and your Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys soccer program as they take on the Salina Central Mustangs in the second round of the Titan Classic. Stay with us now for the Bobby Bribieska Goal for Goal pregame show.
This may sound like a typical high school basketball game being played on a Friday night in Kansas. In fact, it's a crash course in cooperation and teamwork. It's a test of dedication, determination, and drive. It's character development in action. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think about this. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students who participate in school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. At the same time, playing sports helps teach lessons not covered in the classroom. Lessons like tolerance, respect for the rules, and the importance of supporting your community. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
This is the Goal for Goal pregame show with head coach Bobby Bribieska. A review of our last game, and a look at today's contest. Sponsored by the Goal for Goal soccer camps. And now, here's the coach.
And a very pleasant late good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bobby Bribieska pregame show before our game tonight against the Mustangs of Salina Central. Coach, first of all, a big congratulations on a huge win over a very good Emporia team.
What made the win special was it was our first game in that tournament, and in order to at least come up with a third place, first, second, and third, is you have to win the first game. So we did that, so I was very happy.
You look at the game on paper, and we talked a little bit about this while we were on air Tuesday night, but they came in 3-0. They had outscored their opponents 21-1, averaging 7 goals a game, and we have 7 goals total. And you look at the stats on paper and say there's no chance. And we played, in my opinion, the best all around game, especially defensively of the year.
Well, it was. I had a good scouting report, and there was 3 key players. Number 7 was their best player. I think he had like 7 goals already. Then number 11 was another good player. But those 2 players were marked, and I thought our defense did a good job of containing those players. The scary part, though, Kevin, was at halftime it was 2-0, and that really worried me. But we came out with a good game plan, and I think to score 3 unanswered goals, and that was a winner for us. You know,
even down 2-0, at one point we said, the way we're playing, stay with us, folks. There's going to be some action on our side before this is over, and it sure was.
Yeah, they stepped it up. I think defensively, I was pleased, and I'll take 3 goals any time. I think when you score 3 goals, that's enough to win. And, of course, Hilo, once again, had a hat trick and scored some brilliant goals. Part of the easy one was the penalty kick. But the third goal was just pure hustle. Ball came out of the keeper's hand. He was right there to tap it in.
7 goals on the season for the team. He's got 6 of them.
Yeah, I think the scary part about that is he's going to be a marked man from here on out. But I think he can handle the pressure. He's a good player. He likes to move around. That's what makes him very good because he doesn't stand in one place. He goes meets the ball. That's good.
While we're talking about Hiro, I've got to mention it. He was injured late in the second half and did not return in that game and had to be carried off the field by Coach Shook and Chris Navarrete. What's his status? Is he severely injured at all?
Well, we played it safe today. I did not allow him to practice. He's a little bit sore, but I think he'll be taped up, and we're going to give it a try. We'll know at warm-up if he'll play or not.
So he's basically day-to-day.
Well, like I said, he didn't practice today, and I don't want to hurry that. This is early in the season, and on those ankles sometimes take a while to heal. I don't want him to come back too early, so we're going to wait and see till tomorrow.
Well, that's one of the things I was going to ask, because it was hard from where we were to tell, and we knew it was a leg injury. We couldn't tell if it was knee, ankle, or something else.
Yeah, it's his foot, and he took a hard hit. Matter of fact, he was hit throughout that game pretty hard, but he's a tough kid, so I know he's hurt, because he's not the type of kid that will say, I'm hurt, but he's not hurt. He is hurt. Hopefully he'll play today.
How about the defense in that game?
Well, when you look at Trent and Kobe Nichols and Trent and Landenberger, those two guys, and Danny Rivas did a good job. And then on the left side, because the number 4, Tim Hinkle, was injured, then we had to have Jack. I believe Jack stepped it up, played a good defense.
Good all-around team effort in that first game of the Titan, and hopefully we'll get some more of that against Salina Central.
Well, we're going to have to. Here's another team that is 3-0. They beat a very good South High team, 9-2. So it's going to be a very explosive team, and I think we're going to have to play really good soccer at both ends to get a good result.
The weather, in typical Titan fashion, the weather is terrible this week for soccer because we were dry all summer and we've had a week of monsoons here. In fact, it rained a lot. It rained a lot on Monday, before and after our game, and we're recording this interview on Tuesday, and it's rained all day today. In fact, it's raining as we're sitting here talking. Mm-hmm. We're on the east field, which is a grass field, so you don't have that turf drainage. I don't know what kind of shape the field is in, but you mentioned before we went on air here that you think there's a chance that game might be moved, and if it is moved, it would be moved to a turf field, the turf field at Northwest. Is that correct?
Right now, the South is looking at, just for Wednesday's games now, moving it to Heights, Northwest, and, of course, South. I hope we don't move it. I prefer grass. If it's too wet, it might be a problem. It's a problem for both teams. And I'm hoping we can play at South.
You really would prefer to play on grass even if it is muddy?
Well, yes. I think now the game Monday with Emporia, it was a cool day. It wasn't hot. So for that, it was okay. Both teams had no problem with keeping up. But with the grass field, I think we'd do better. And I think the young kids coming up, they prefer to have turf. But I'm old school, and I think I keep telling my friends, God made grass, and we want to play on grass. So.
Well, one of the negatives of turf, and you kind of have alluded to it here a moment ago, when the sun comes out, a turf field gets hot.
It's about 10, 12 degrees hotter. And so early in the year, the referees have been taking breaks halfway between the halves. But no, Monday's game was nice. A little bit of a drizzle once in a while, but no, it was perfect for soccer.
And the game forecast is more of the same. Supposed to be in the low 80s at most on Wednesday, and a chance of rain on and off throughout.
Yes, so I'm telling our parents and spectators, bring an umbrella, because you never can tell.
Quite frankly, it wouldn't bother me a bit to move the game in Northwest, only because if it rains at all, we have to shut down. The webcast is over, and we're going to be exposed outdoors if we're at South for that game because they don't have a press box on the grass field.
Well, I would have our players and parents and friends look at the Twitter account, the team app account, websites, and they'll know probably by noon where we're going to play.
And we'll post it as well on the webcast page as to where the game is and if there's any change. Would there be any change in the timing of the game? Right
now they're leaving the times alone. And that's what I was told this morning. But once again, let's just check and see where we're going to play.
So keep an eye out. Of course, by the time you're watching this, you already know the answer. But we're going to play it by ear, and wherever we play, let's just go out there and play well and get a big W.
Yeah, the guys want to play. They walked away happy, and I was content with the outcome. I think it showed good character to come back and score 3 goals second half, and we walked away feeling really good, and that was a good feeling.
And long overdue. I'm glad it was a great day for the soccer program and for those kids in particular.
Yeah, and once again, we're playing good teams, and the good thing about this tournament is it's not going to hurt your City League standings. So we're getting ready to do well in this tournament. Our goal is to win this tournament, but more important than that is the City League, because we want to be in the championship game for that.
And you're 1/3 of the way there, having won that first game. This tournament is certainly winnable.
Well, yeah, we take one game at a time, but when you look at our next game after the tournament, I believe it's Bishop Carroll, and Bishop's off to a good start. They beat a good Mace team the other day, so yeah, we're getting ready for our City League play.
And City League will be tough, and we'll be talking about that going forward.
I saw a lot of good teams in this tournament Monday, and I think it's the teams are pretty level. I think it depends who shows up, and the team with the less errors is going to get a good result.
Best of luck to you today against the Salina Central Mustangs. Let's go out and get that second W and find ourselves in the championship game on Saturday.
We're going to give it our best shot. Thank you.
Head coach Bobby Burbieska on the coach's pregame show. Stay tuned now after this brief timeout for the starting lineup and the play-by-play of today's game against the Salina Central Mustangs. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys soccer.
This stage is nowhere near Broadway, and none of these actors will be accepting an Oscar anytime soon. Still, they are rehearsing for something important. While they learn their lines, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, that everyone has a part to play. Skills that will make them stars long after the curtain falls. The National Federation of State High School Associations reminds you that when kids take part in high school activities, they get set for life.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Wichita Northwest Grizzlies soccer is on the air. Welcome to everyone in Grizzly Nation to another webcast of your Wichita Northwest Grizzlies as they take on the best teams in Kansas and pursue a 5A state title. Follow your Grizzlies all season long in battle after battle. Today's webcast is brought to you through the support of the many sponsors of this year's Eric Profit number 19 Memorial Golf Tournament, including the following: Mel Hambledon Ford, we're better, we're proving it, you be the judge. And by Fleeson, Gooing, Colson, and Kitch Attorneys, we believe our clients' best interests and needs are our own. By Emerson Biggins, 808 East Douglas. Come visit Emerson Biggins and enjoy the great food, cold brews, and hospitality of Luis Lopez and his staff today. Also by ABC Discount Wine and Spirits and the Humidor, with 5 convenient locations to serve you, including 8550 West 21st Street. By Aerotech Engineering in Mays, serving customers that rank among the world's largest manufacturers of civilian and military aircraft. By Regional Contractors, LLC of Lenexa, Kansas. The regional team is with you every step of the way. By Basis Engineering of Wichita, providing expertise in mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineering. And by the law firm of Dugan and Garreau, experts in personal injury, business law, workers' compensation, wills, and trust. And by the many other sponsors who make this webcast possible. And now to the field, and your host, Kevin Arkin.
Thank you, Todd Taylor, and a very pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Carpenter Stadium on the campus of South High School here in Wichita, Kansas, for today's second-round action between your Wichita Northwest Grizzlies and the Mustangs of Salina Central High School. Joining me today, as always, our producer-engineer, Greg Darnell. Between the two of us, we'll bring you the sights and sounds of this one. A winter bracket game between both of these teams, each coming off of different kinds of wins in their opening round. The Grizzlies upset the Emporia Spartans 3-2 on Monday, and Salina Central kind of handed it to the South High Titans 9-2 on Monday in the first game of the tournament. We're getting ready to start here. We're going to give you the lineups on the fly. We will tell you that the Grizzlies are the designated visiting team today, so they are wearing their road white shirts with blue numerals, blue shorts, and white socks. The home team, the Salina Central Mustangs, in their maroon tops, white shorts, and white trim. Grizzlies will be kicking off. Standing over the ball is Angel DeRath along with Enrique Morales getting ready to kick it off. We do have some lineup changes for the Grizzlies today. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and let them get started here, and then we'll give you the starting lineups for the Salina Central Mustangs. And we are indeed underway. You'll find the score bar and the time on the top of your screen today. Grizzlies playing from left to right here in the first half. Starting for the Mustangs, in goal, a freshman, number 0, Grant Shepard. Also starting, senior, number 4, Brett Norris. Sophomore, number 5, Liam Foley. And we have a goal already? Wow. And I missed it. Who was it? I was introducing the starters and missed it. Well, it could have been. You know what you could do for me? Well, here, I'll just do it myself because I can reach the door. Who scored? It was Angel DeRath. Do you have an assist? No. Okay. Angel DeRath gets the first goal less than 30 seconds into the contest for the Grizzlies. So the Grizzlies take an early 1-0 lead. And this is what I get for introducing players while they're playing. Let's finish the starting lineups here, and I'll try and keep a half an eye on the field here as we go forward. There's another one into the penalty area. I'm kind of halfway looking here. Don't want to get burned twice in the same minute. And Grant Shepard picks that one up. Also starting for the Mustangs, number 7, sophomore Nolan Foley. Senior number 8, Blake Olmstead. Senior number 10, Trey Montoy. Senior number 14, Justin Bartholomew. Senior number 15, David Grammer. Junior number 20, Aaron Wilson. Junior number 22, Malcolm Berkeley. Senior number 25, Mark Grammer. And that wraps up the starting lineups for the Mustangs. Have a corner kick here for Salina Central. And this one goes all the way through. There's a pop-up in the air, dangerous ball here. Nice centering pass, and it's finally cleared out there by Daniel Rivas all the way to midfield. And a good hustling job that time by Angel Durath as he chased the ball all the way out of bounds. Let's give you the starting lineups for the Grizzlies. First of all, we'll tell you about some injuries. 2 players, 2 normal starters are game day decisions, and they are not on the start. They are not on the field, nor were they in the starting lineup. And that would be number 4, Tim Hinkle, the senior defender, who's nursing a hamstring pull, and number 6, Jairo Ornelas, who scored all 3 goals in the victory on Monday, a forward for the Grizzlies, has an injured ankle suffered on a foul that occurred late in that game. You may remember he was carried off the field and did not return. So they're both game time decisions. We won't know if they're going to play today at all until they actually come into the game. That's how little is known about that. They both did warm up. They looked okay warming up, but they were going to let the coach know how they felt, and then Coach Bobby B was going to make a decision based on that information. So starting for the Grizzlies, in goal, number 1, Andrew Fisher, the sophomore. Kobe Nickel on defense, the senior, wearing number 3 today. At midfield, a sophomore, number 5, Jack Fincham. Number 10, sophomore midfielder, Angel Durath, and he's not number 10, he's number 7, and of course he scored the first goal for Northwest. Number 8, Enrique Morales, a sophomore midfielder, along with number 9, Sam Mueller, who was out Monday because he was ill, but coach says he's feeling much better, and he got the start today. Daniel Rivas, a senior defender on the near side, wearing number 10. Trent Landenberger, number 12, a senior defender. At midfield, number 14, Carson Arndt, the sophomore. Here's a long one that's cleared away there by Shepard. Captain, number 16, senior Chris Navarrete, will play up at midfield. And finally, Heron Ramos, a sophomore midfielder wearing number 23. Your Grizzly coaches are Bobby Bribieska. Assistant coaches are Austin Clifton and Art Shook. Student managers are Kayana Campbell, Jade Gonzalez, and Amy Nunez. And, of course, the athletic director at Northwest is Mr. Lance Deckinger. 5 minutes gone here in the first half. Grizzlies have the early lead. And the ball goes in there to Shepard for Salina Central. So you may be asking yourself, especially if you listen to the pregame show, because we actually did talk about this when we recorded that pregame show last night. Why are we at Carpenter Stadium when we're supposed to be on the east grass field? It has done nothing but rain here since we talked to you last, and it actually was pouring down rain on me as I drove to the stadium today. And when I got about 2 miles away, the rain had stopped, and I don't think it's rained here in the last several hours. But 3 miles down the highway, it was pouring when I drove through. So that's how much rain we've had. The grass fields, both are unplayable. And if they did play on them, yes, they could get the games in, but they would tear the fields up. So those games have all been relocated. Turf fields at Northwest and at Heights are being used. And because Northwest, they did not want to give Northwest a home game, Northwest is playing here at Carpenter against Salina Central. So that's why we're here, folks. Here's a long run and a good one and a nice centering pass. Oh, he couldn't get a foot on it. That centering pass to Mark Grammer. Now it's kicked out of play. It will remain the possession of Salina Central. Great crossing pass by Aaron Wilson, number 20, into the middle of the penalty area, and Grammer just could not connect. Chris Navarrete blocks that with its chest. Central still with the ball. And now a centering pass that Landenberger gets a foot on, and he clears it out towards center, and Angel DeRath is there for the Grizzlies. Now it looks like they're going to call a foul against either Angel or who's in the orange shoes there, Greg? Morales?
Yeah, I think so.
Or Enrique Morales. One of those two got called for it. Oh, there's a shot that's blocked by the defense after Andrew Fisher couldn't get to it. Now it goes out of play. It'll be a throw in for Central. Handling the chore will be Justin Bartholomew. And he throws it in. And a centering pass that time is deflected right to Andrew Fisher off the foot of Blake Olmstead, number 8 for the Mustangs. Mustangs come into the game undefeated, 3-0. And after a 9-2 rout of the South High Titans on Monday. In the game just previous to this, Rivas is going to kick that over the goal line. It'll be a corner kick for the Central Mustangs. In the game before this one, Emporia and South, the losers in the first round in our bracket, played each other, and Emporia came out on top with a late goal by a 4-3 score. And they will play for fifth place on Saturday. Winner of this game goes to the championship game of the red bracket. There's one over the top of the goal, and it will be a goal kick for the Grizzlies. This portion of Grizzly Soccer on the Internet is brought to you in part by Mel Hambledon Ford. We're better, we're proving it. You be the judge. Mel Hambledon Ford, 11771 West Kellogg. Proud supporters of the Grizzlies. And we have substitution coming in for the Grizzlies. We'll check this out and see who that is. Say again. Caleb Blaine coming in, number 18 for the Grizzlies. See, I'm getting the binoculars out, and old Mr. Young Eyes over here just rattles off who it is. And I did not see who went out. Jack Fincham goes out. Caleb Blaine comes in. And we're back underway here with the Grizzlies threatening, but now a foul called, and it will be a free kick for the Mustangs. 10 minutes gone here in the first half. 1-0, Grizzlies up. Our next webcast is scheduled for Saturday. And we're going to tell you some of the ins and outs of a possible webcast or no webcast on Saturday as we go forward here. There are a couple of factors involved that may weigh on that decision. Goal kick coming here from the Mustangs. Out to midfield. Rivas punches it forward. Aaron Ramos giving chase. And now this one goes wide. That is, nice save there at that time by the Mustangs to keep it in play. And to midfield it comes. Here come the Mustangs with a chance. Now broken up by the Grizzlies. Carson sends one to Angel DeRath. Nice pass, just overled him by a foot. Or he would have had a streaking one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Carson deflects it out of play. It will be a throw-in for Salina Central. And it comes in the direction of Mark Grammer, but the Grizzlies get it back. DeRath with it, looking for some help, sends it back to Rivas. At the 40, Daniel Rivas to DeRath, and a give and go that time, but he chipped it out of bounds. It'll belong to Salina Central. Caleb Blaine, nice spin move to maintain possession, back to Rivas. And now to DeRath and to Blaine again. Blaine from the 25 sends it back to DeRath. DeRath gets around one man, slips for a moment. Looking for a pass, gives it to Rivas. Rivas centers one. Bicycle kick attempt by Morales, misses. And the ball goes over to the to the Mustangs, Nice play that time by the Grizzlies. A little razzle-dazzle here in the early going. Centering pass, and here's a shot. And a nice save by Fisher. Ball's deflected out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Mustangs. Andrew Fisher up to the task that time. Caleb with it. Rivas sends one forward to a red shirt. And back it comes, and there's a handball waved off because Grizzlies have possession. And Shepard committed. Oh, there's a shot and a nice one by DeRath. He caught the goalkeeper, Shepard, out of his net. And one of the defenders kicks it out of play. It'll be a corner kick for the Grizzlies. But Angel DeRath making his second great play in the first 15 minutes of this contest. Grizzlies will take the corner, coming up here to take it. I believe that's Caleb Blaine taking it. Oh, I take it back. It's a throw-in. Excuse me. Went on this side of the flag. Rivas centers one right to Grant Shepard, goalkeeper for the Mustangs, and he will have a goalkeeper distribution. Out to center it comes. David Grammer with it, brother of Mark. He sends one forward. Rivas is there to intercept it. And back up here to the foot of Angel DeRath. He can't control it, however. And the Mustangs playing some possession ball. Finally give it away as Sam Mueller over there kicked one out of bounds. Here's another one out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Mustangs. Grammer with it again. Sends it back, and now the Grizzlies get it. Can they keep it? Angel DeRath taking off the ball on that tackle. Salina Central doing what they do best, playing possession soccer and getting lots of passes in. A good passing squad. Ramos with some nice hustling defense. There's a centering pass, and Kobe Nickel will tap it over the goal line for a corner kick for the Mustangs. 24 and a half remaining here in the first. Grizzlies have a 1-0 lead on an early goal by Angel DeRath. Nice to see the young man get in the scoring column. Prior to this game, the Grizzlies had scored 8 goals in the season in their first 4 games. That one gets chipped over the net for a goal kick. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come back and finish that thought here in just a moment. Stay with us. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys soccer.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a number 1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
Back at Carpenter Stadium, where the Mustangs are making a threat here to score. And they're about to get a corner kick. Yes, indeed they are. Off to the far wall they go, far side they go for the corner kick. And Justin Bartholomew will take the kick for Salina Central. And into the penalty area it goes. There's an attempt to corral the ball that time by Malcolm Berkeley, but he was unable to do so, and it goes out of play. It'll belong to Northwest. At midfield with it. DeRath trying to win it back for Northwest. Malcolm Berkeley with it now, running down the middle. Sends a long one that's chipped back by Landenberger off his foot. Easy play for Andrew Fisher. To Daniel Rivas on the near side. That one goes out of play. It'll belong to Northwest. Rivas with it. Taps it out of play. It will belong now to Salina Central. Central bringing the ball up across midfield. Making some crisp passes here. Wilson with it. He sends one forward. And that one bounces off of 3 feet before it goes out of bounds. And I believe it'll belong to Central, and it will. Throw in coming. Berkeley had it again. And passes it off to Mark Grammer. Now there's a shot from the wide side. Actually, that was a pass. There comes a shot and a save by Fisher. Follow up, no way. Fisher's got it covered, and he'll have a goalkeeper distribution. And a nice job that time by Andrew Fisher to get his second and third saves of the game. David Grammer passes it on the near side to Aaron Wilson. Wilson going deep. He'll center one. And Andrew Fisher all over that one. Corrals that. We'll have a distribution either by throwing or by punting. And he is elected to punt it. And a nice one. All the way to the 40. Nice job. Haven't mentioned the wind because there is none today. There is absolutely no wind right now. The flags are limp. The humidity here is 112%. I don't mind telling you, folks, this press box is not air conditioned, and it's pretty miserable up here, even if the temperature is only 80. substitution here for Salina Central. We'll get that number here and get it to you in just a moment. I think that's their first sub of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Mark Grammer with it. Sends it to center, where it's intercepted there, and coming away with it was Kobe Nickel. He couldn't control, and now Grammer's got it again. Only a little closer this time. He gets it at the 15, sends it on the near side to Wilson. Wilson centering one, and it's cleared out by the defense. Nice job, Grizzlies. Now Malcolm Berkeley with it. Berkeley sends it on the far side. Caleb Blaine to Heron Ramos. And Morales unable to control it, loses the ball, turns it over. Here come the Mustangs back with it. Centering pass from the far side. And there's one deep in the direction of Aaron Wilson. He sends one to center, and it's cleared out by the Grizzlies. It'll be a throw in for Central. Now they'll pull it back and regroup. Brett Norris with it. He sends it to center to Trey Olmstead. And while they're doing that, we'll tell you that Grizzly Soccer on the Internet is brought to you in part today by Emerson Biggins, 808 East Douglas in Old Town. Come visit Emerson Biggins and enjoy the great food, cold brews, and hospitality of Luis Lopez and his staff today. Emerson Biggins is a proud supporter of the Eric Profit number 19 golf tournament each summer, as they were again this year. Mustangs trying to get a shot off, working one up. They've had a lot of possession here in the last couple minutes. There's a shot blocked by the defense. Nice job that time. Actually, it was Carson Arndt that blocked that. Good job by Carson. We come back into Salina Central territory. Now deep we are, and it comes all the way back to their keeper. 16-17 remaining. First half, Grizzlies lead 1-0 on a goal by Angel DeRath. Throwing the ball in now will be Justin Bartholomew. He gets it in there to Mark Grammer. Grammer centering that one to Liam Foley, who sends it all the way across the other side. Now a long one in deep, but Andrew Fisher is there to corral that for the Grizzlies, and he'll shovel it off to Daniel Rivas. That ball went out before Angel DeRath could get to it, so it belongs to the Mustangs. Now DeRath steals one, and it's just too bad. That tackle saved a one-on-one on the goal, saved a breakaway attempt. Grizzlies will get the ball back, however. Caleb Blaine will throw it in. And it comes to DeRath. He tried to get it forward. Goes down, no call. Goal kick coming for Salina Central. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. This is Grizzly Boys Soccer.
This portion of today's webcast is brought to you in part by the following Grizzly supporters: Chris and Jan Shoemaker, the Glenn and Camille Nyberg family, the Joe and Judy Coughlin family, the Tom and Carla Lassiter family, the Bob and Lynn Profit family, Danny and Stacy Higgins of Gecko Painting Incorporated of Olathe, Kansas, Jenny Wiley, and by Kevin and Donna Arkin.
Plays just resumed here at Carpenter Stadium. Ball's on the far side of the field in the possession of Salina Central. Grizzlies get it, poke one forward. And here's one for Angel DeRath again. Angel DeRath being the target man here in the absence of Jairo Ornelas, who is here today but is not playing due to injury. What I was starting to say a little while ago and got my thoughts derailed by the playing of soccer in front of us. Talking about Jairo Ornelas, the Grizzlies coming into this game had scored 8 goals, and Jairo had 6 of them. Carson Arndt had 1, and Ernesto Ortiz 1. Jack Fincham comes back in now for the Grizzlies, number 5. After getting his breather. Fincham, the sophomore. This is a young squad overall here for the Grizzlies. Not a lot of senior leadership. Nothing against the seniors. There just aren't a lot of them, is what I'm trying to say. There's a crossing shot and now a chip. That's going to go over the goal line, and that will be a corner kick as that was chipped over by one of our guys. And looking off into the distance, there is a thunderstorm out there. Can't tell if it's heading for us or not. It is still overcast here. As I mentioned, it has rained most of the day. It actually rained most of the day on Monday. As we were packing it up to leave on Monday, it started to rain again. After it had rained all night and then stopped just before game time. All the way back to Grant Shepard. And we have a foul called against Salina Central. It'll be a free kick for Northwest from the 44. It's taken on the far side. Sam Mueller tries to go forward with it, but he's interfered with. Are they going to call the foul or call the out of bounds? They're going to call the foul, which is the right decision. Carson Arndt will take the free kick from the 40. He's not going to get this one home. That one is deflected over the goal line. That should be a corner kick for the Grizzlies, and it is. Grizzlies to this point have only made 2 subs in the game, all involving the same players. They now have a third man lined up. We'll tell you who that is here in a minute. Corner kick coming, though, from the Grizzlies. Well, I'd love to tell you who that was, but he was standing behind the referee over there, so I couldn't see. We are going to have a substitution here for the Grizzlies. Who's coming in? I can't see his number. Is that Zane? Zane Visker comes in, number 13, for the Grizzlies. And he will replace... Who did he replace? Carson? Yes, he replaces Carson Arndt. Zane Visker, a sophomore midfielder. And the younger brother of Reese Visker of the ladies squad. Big shout out to Reese. And speaking of shout outs, for those of you watching from the Salina Central community back in Salina, we welcome you to our webcast today. Happy to have you on board. Happy to send a link and share it with you. And hope you're enjoying the game as much as Greg and I are enjoying bringing it to you. albeit with a Grizzly flavor. Kick back and relax. Plenty of soccer left to be played. 9 minutes and change to go here in the first half. Grizzlies up by the slimmest of margins. Durath, give and go to Angel. He splits two defenders. Can he get to the ball? He beats the goalie, and a defender clicks it out of play over the goal line. It'll be a corner kick. What a great play by Angel Durath, and what a great play by that defender for Salina Central. He saved the goal. I think that was Justin Bartholomew back there who did that. The numbers are getting hard to read because it's getting darker and the lights are not on yet. Hint, hint. And it comes on the corner kick and deflected out, now sent out to center defensively. And the Grizzlies get it right back. That one goes through the legs of Fincham. Now he gets it back off a pass by Rivas. Jack brings it up the near side, leaves it for Angel Durath. Durath fighting hard for it with Brett Norris, and Brett wins that one and sends it all the way back to Shepard, who redistributes on the opposite side. Now a nice steal that time by Navarrete. And it's kicked out of play into the Grizzly bench. It'll be a throw in for Northwest. Well, we have a couple of people we're hoping to come up here and join us at halftime for a little halftime interview action. We'll see if one or either is able to make it up here. That goes out of play for a goal kick for Salina Central. Let's take a quick timeout. This is Northwest Grizzlies boys soccer.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Corner kick came and went. Nothing became of it. Ball's at center now, being fought for by both teams. Rivas with it now at the 40. He's looking to dish it forward in the direction of Morales, and now Caleb Blaine sends it on the far side. Reese Visker sends it forward. Blocked by the defense, and now a long one comes all the way back. Fisher's going to grab that one. Actually, he'll play it with his feet, however. He sends it forward. Navarrete has it. And Caleb Blaine goes down. No call. Here's a chance for the Mustangs. 2-on-1. A shot off the football upright, and it will be a goal kick for the Grizzlies. This portion of Soccer on the Internet brought to you in part by ABC Discount Liquor, Discount Wine and Spirits, and the Humidor, with 5 convenient locations to serve you in Wichita, including 8550 West 21st Street. ABC Discount Wine and Spirits is a proud supporter of Grizzly Soccer on the World Wide Web. Coming down on 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Only goal of the game scored in the first 25 seconds by Angel Durath. And the Grizzlies still have that 1-0 lead. Fincham with it now. Has it taken off his foot. Grizzlies have played very well so far in this tournament. Down the near side it comes. Aaron Wilson centers one. It's cleared back out. Central still with a chance. Shot and a score by Central. Comes off the foot of Brian Pena. Will give the assist to Mark Grammer, number 25. So it's Pena from Grammer. And it comes with 4:40 remaining in the first half. Ties the game at 1. And they have turned the lights on here at Carpenter Stadium as a menacingly looking cloud is beginning to overshadow the stadium. And something tells me these guys are about to get wet. It's been that way for 2 days, folks. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it will change. And on Saturday, they're predicting the remnants of Tropical Storm Gordon will be passing through Kansas, dumping a bunch more rain on us. So after going all summer with no rain, we're getting an annual supply here in 1 week. Rivas has it on the kickoff as we're back underway. The game clock has not yet started, though. Wonder if they know that next door. They're running the clock from up here, I believe, because of the weather. Well, we're getting bonus time here. That's all I can say. The referees have not noticed the clock is not running. I'm going to be a good neighbor here. You know the clock's not running? I've done my good deed for the day, Mr. Darnell. We'll let the clock catch up to us. We now have 4:20 remaining here in the first half of this bonus coverage. This one gets chipped forward. But it goes out of play. It will belong to Salina Central. Throw in is intercepted by the Grizzlies. And a foul call. That'll be a free kick now for the Mustangs. Out to center it comes where Mark Grammer has it. Blake Olmstead in center. Dishes it back to Grammer. Now here's a offside call. I've been waiting for that. That'll be a free kick here for Northwest. As forward on the far side of the field was trapped offside. Whoops. Well, I waited for them to catch up. Now I got to catch up to it. The breeze is cooling off. You're right indeed, Mr. Darnell. And that only means one thing. There's rain coming. We're inside the press box up here at Carpenter Stadium, so the rain will not be an issue for us unless we have to close the window. And we want to thank Athletic Director Kyle Hutt for his hospitality again today and allowing us to use the press box up here. And we did re-invite him to be a guest at halftime, but he's kind of busier than a one-arm paper hanger, and he's not even on campus, so he's at one of the other sites. So we'll see if we can get, we've invited an assistant principal to come up, and if he doesn't make it, there's a Northwest alum in the next booth that we may bring over here. There's a long one, and it comes all the way through to Aaron Wilson. Wilson, a shot and a save by Fisher. Bad angle, although it was still a good save by Andrew. He was all over that ball. Andrew, feeling more and more comfortable in the nets. Having very limited experience there before this season. But you have to have a goalkeeper, and he has stepped up. Wilson with it again. Leaves it again for Grammer. Grammer centers one. Grizzlies trying to clear, unable to do so. There's one bouncing off of Daniel Rivas over the goal line. It will be a corner kick for Salina Central, and it will come with just over a minute remaining by the time the kick is in the air. 1-1 tie, Grizzlies and Salina Central. And this, too, could be a playoff preview, as was the Emporia game, because both teams, or Salina Central is a 5A school, expected to remain so on September 20th when the final pairings come out. And Northwest is anticipating dropping down from 6A to 5A at the same time, which would put them in the 5A playoffs for soccer. On the far side of the field, 2 against 1, and finally kicked out of play by Zane Visker with 25 seconds to go. Now he sends one forward to Durath. Durath got the Grizzlies' only goal less than a minute into the game. Trouble, shot, and a block by, looks like that went off of Chris Navarrete. Nice job defensively. And there's the horn to end the first half. We are at halftime, ladies and gentlemen. And our halftime score, all tied at 1, Northwest and Salina Central. Stay with us after this brief timeout. We'll be back with our halftime extravaganza in just a moment. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys soccer.
Grizzly Soccer on the Internet is brought to you in part today by Tom and Carla Lassiter and the law firm of Fleeson, Gouin, Colson, and Kitch, 301 North Main in the Epic Center, practicing over 35 areas of law, including corporate law, estate planning, trusts, probate and fiduciary law, real estate and development law, education and school law, and bankruptcy and creditors' rights, just to name a few. With over 130 years' experience, Fleeson & Gouin is nationally recognized for their diligence and legal expertise. Contact them at 316-267-7361.
All right, folks, this is what we call live television the hard way. You're going to slide back over here, if you will. And we're going to move back and get him in the frame. If you want to take a camera off the stand and hold it, you can, Greg. That's pretty good. Okay, there's nothing like being laid back, and we are laid back. Welcome to our halftime extravaganza, ladies and gentlemen. 1-1, Northwest and Salina Central, and I'm joined by our host, Athletic Director Kyle Hutt. Thank you for joining us, and welcome. Well, we're going to get you some more volume, young man. Let's try that. Tell us, now this is your first year at South, is that right?
No, actually, this is my third year here at South.
Third year? Okay.
South, yes.
Why are we not getting you here? We are not getting you. Hang on just a minute. We may have to do this the old-fashioned way. Look in the bag. It's got the microphone. Try that now. Nope. Something has gone wrong with your headset or with this pot. I need the microphone and I need the short cord that goes with it. Now you got your hand on it. No, the other one. The other cord. I don't mind us, folks, and I apologize for you having to look at my midsection here while we're doing this. That's the one. All righty, I think. You know what? I'm wrong. I need the other one. Sorry about that. I need the big one. Yeah, we're going to do that. Quickly unravel this. This is a last-minute thing, folks. We didn't know that Kyle was in the next room, and we have a full 10 minutes, so we are going to be... Let's see how this works. Mike, there we go. I'm going to take my headset off as well. Okay, so this is your third year at South High, and how's the tournament going for you despite the weather?
Despite the weather, I mean, the tournament's been really well. For South, the results haven't been as we would like, but I'm glad that everybody else is having a good time, and the teams are performing really well and keeping the game as clean as possible given the situation and the circumstances.
I know you've been plagued by the rain. We've talked about how much rain we've had in the last 3 days here in Wichita. It's just unbelievable. All you have to do is hold a tournament and you can make it rain. You've relocated games today. Tell us about that.
Well, like I said, Kyle Hott's actually the AD. I'm not Kyle Hott. I'm Jose Gonzalez. I'm the assistant coach.
I'm sorry.
No, not a problem.
I thought my hearing isn't very good. So, Jose, I apologize.
No worries.
I've never met Kyle in person. He's only been a voice on the...
he's been here for a few years now. This is his first year as AD.
That's what I thought, and that's why you surprised me with that answer, and it all makes sense.
Right.
So. Okay, so where are the other games today?
They are being played down at campus, at the campus Stadium.
Oh, really?
Colt Stadium. Well, the two. So it's 2 here, 2 there today, and I believe tomorrow we're going to be 2 here and 2 at Northwest.
Okay.
I believe. Well, I'm not 100% sure about that, but
yeah, I knew Northwest was in the mix because Coach and I were talking about that last night, that Northwest might be a site today or tomorrow, and I can understand why we're playing here so that you don't give us a home game. That would make perfect sense. So, a lot of water on the grass fields.
A lot of water on the grass fields, and we're just trying to preserve the grass fields as who is Capon is going to be using our fields as well. So when we're not playing here, they're playing their home games here because Striker's not ready yet for them. So we're trying to just preserve it for the season as best as we can.
And for those of you who don't know, the Striker complex where Capon plays is being reconstructed. They're putting turf in on the main field, and I think they're building a new grandstand. They're doing all kinds of stuff up there.
They're updating all of the side fields for the. If I believe I'm correct, they're wanting to turn it into like a league so that the other teams can actually use the facilities and then actually use the main stadium for FC Wichita and Capon share that facility there.
And FC Wichita, where are they going to play while this is under construction next summer?
As far as I know, they should actually be finishing by the end of this fall.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't realize they were that far along.
Yes, so the girls are hoping to be able to use that as their inaugural season for this coming year.
So which field does Capon play on when they're playing here?
It depends on the situation. If we're playing here, we take the home field, which is the grass field, and Capon will use the turf field. Now, for their senior night, I believe that we're going to be, because we are actually hosting them for their senior night here. So that's the funny situation. We'll actually be playing here at the stadium on the turf.
So that everybody gets the big show.
Yes, that's correct.
So let's talk about your team, since you're an assistant coach of the team. I know that they had a tough game on Monday against the Salina Central team.
Yeah.
They're darn good.
Yeah, they're very good. They're a very good team. Full credit to them for putting away their chances. We just been a couple of hard games. We opened up against Dodge City with traveling Dodge City. That's never a fun thing to do. It's a 3-hour road trip. Wake up, yeah. And so some of the boys just had defensive mistakes, and really that's been the case of our season so far. It's just been a lot of defensive mistakes there have cost us the game. As you saw today, we put away 3 goals, but again, when you make those turnovers and you don't apply pressure right away, the goals fall back against you.
And I did notice, as we were getting ready for our broadcast and that game was going on, when Emporia scored the 4th goal, they immediately went into a stall ball game.
Yes, we knew that they were going to do that, and that's what we talked about. Whenever we're behind, that we anticipate teams to play possession, so we have to press them really high and press them quickly, so that when we do get the ball, we can counterattack. Now, what we're having issues with is, one, we're not used to playing on the turf. We play all of our games that we play for home games, we're on the grass field. Unfortunately, most of the teams that we play around Wichita, they play on turf, so they're used to that speed of the game, whereas we're not. So when we start when we start our counterattack, the ball is played sometimes too far ahead or too far behind, and it just takes us way too long to get accustomed to the turf field for that.
And I think that's the same complaint that Coach Berbiesco would make, because our home field is also grass, and there aren't a lot of grass fields left. Capon was one playing at Striker, and of course they're giving that up now that they're going to turf.
Yeah, I mean we understand the benefits of going to turf as far as upkeep and as far as being able to use it for multiple sports. But there's just something about playing the game on grass on a natural surface that really you don't get whenever you're on turf. It's too zippy, it's too fast, and it just takes away from, especially with the bounces, the high balls, the bounce. And as a keeper, for me, when I was in high school and when I was in college, playing on a turf like that, getting those beads in your eyes just distracts you too much, and it's a nuisance.
This turf in particular, I think, is very hard. Mm-hmm. And as you get, I always refer to the parking lot bounce.
Right.
When you make a long pass, it's just going to make a huge bounce. And we've seen other schools that are the same way. Washburn Rural's turf is extremely hard too, and it cost them a goal against us. When the girls played there last year, we had a goalkeeper score because of a parking lot bounce. And They're changing it. Their turf. They're gonna go to the newer style.
Like Mays has their
that Mays has. Yeah,
their new turf just a few years ago, I believe.
Yeah, they're putting theirs in as soon as their fall season is over. So other schools I know will go to it. And I would expect that eventually, when this turf wears out, that this would also the 259 would change this into that new turf.
We hope that. I mean, obviously, it's expensive and it's a time-consuming effort, but we would like to keep the playing surface as even as possible for everybody, so that whether you're coming from Northwest, whether you're coming from North, everybody can anticipate this same playing style.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Especially because some schools, we played, where was that at? That was at campus. Their stadium is actually, their turf, their lines are actually just a little bit wider than they are here. So those players, we want to make sure everybody has a uniform playing surface.
And eventually we'll get there.
Yeah, eventually we'll get there. It takes time. It takes money and time, and then
money and time.
That's what slows everything down. Yeah.
So I know that Northwest plays you, I think, in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I could look it up on the schedule, but I believe you host us.
Yes, we do.
At the end of the month. Yeah. So we'll look forward to coming back here, and that game is scheduled for a webcast. So from the grass field. Now, what you could do on that grass field for all of us, a little crow's nest you made.
Yeah.
You could widen it by about 6 feet. It's mighty small.
We would love to be able to get a bigger area there for cameras and for people to telecast like this, and that'd be great.
It is kind of small. So hey, best of luck to you this season until you play us, and all the way along. And I appreciate the visit. Thanks for joining us here at halftime.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck with the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Assistant coach Jose Gonzalez of the South High Titans, our guest here at halftime. The players have already made it to the center of the field for the start of the second half. So we're going to do a little bit of changeover here, and bear with me for just a minute while I get things set up. We need a third person in the booth. We don't have a third person. And we are underway here in the second half. Kickoff by the Mustangs. And bear with me while I change microphones. All right, we are back on here on the headset. There we go. Grizzlies are playing from right to left here in the second half. And keep in mind that they are the road team and accordingly wearing their white road jerseys for this contest. The rule changed this year, as we've mentioned before, that the road team now wears white at all games. And it has gotten really dark here, and there is this humongously dark cloud. Greg, tilt it back just a little bit and show everybody the cloud line that we can look at from up here. You can see the low cloud. That completely surrounds our stadium here where we are. So, the sky could open up here at just any moment. Well, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, no rain here. And as you heard Coach Gonzalez say, they are playing games at campus tonight. I thought Northwest was the alternate field tonight. It is tomorrow night. So we thank the good folks at Campus High for letting South use their facilities to host some games here tonight. Here's an opportunity now on the far side for the Mustangs. A shot and a save by Fisher. And over the goal line it goes. It'll be a corner kick for the Mustangs. That shot taken over there by Aaron Wilson. And he's going to head over and take the corner kick as well. Andrew had good position on the play that time. And this one chipped over the goal line by Caleb Blaine, and it will be another corner kick for the Salina Central squad on the far side. Lights are on here at Carpenter, mainly because of this dark cloud. And in the air it goes again, all the way through. This time it goes over the goal line, and it will be a goal kick for the Grizzlies. This portion of Grizzly Soccer on the Internet, being brought to you by Aerotech Engineering, Aerotech Engineering in Mays, Kansas, serving customers that rank among the world's largest manufacturers of civilian and military aircraft. Aerotech is a proud supporter of Grizzly Soccer on the World Wide Web. Carson Arndt's going to throw it in right below us here. Don't know who he's going to get it to. And in the game for the Grizzlies for the first time, Ernesto Ortiz, number 15, making his first appearance of the day, playing at midfield. This one goes all the way back, but Andrew Fisher will be unencumbered. And now they're going to call a foul. And it will be a free kick or a throw-in. Which one's it going to be? They are calling a foul, and it was a free kick for Salina. Weaving his way to the top of the penalty arc there is Malcolm Berkeley, the dangerous one. Through the wickets of Brett Norris, but the Grizzlies can't control. And so far in the early going of the second half, it's all Salina Central. Carson Arndt trying to get it forward, unable to do so, and a foul called. Grizzlies will get a free kick here. And a long one in the direction of Angel DeRath. In the air it goes, and out of play it'll be a throw-in for Carson Arndt and company. Throws it into Ortiz, back to Arndt, back to Ortiz. Ernesto looking for some help, and finds it in the back in the person of Trent Landenberger. Sam Mueller going for the ball and is guilty of a trip. And a foul called. It'll be a free kick for Salina Central. Again, we want to thank the assistant coach of the South High Titans, Jose Gonzalez, for being our halftime guest, and I apologize for misinterpreting who he was. Kyle is in his first year as AD, and he and I have not yet met face-to-face, but we've exchanged a lot of phone texts. Here's an opportunity for the Grizzlies, and they're saying no foul. Angel DeRath gets up, but the ball goes to Grant Shepard. Shepard sends one all the way to midfield, and it's kicked out of play there by Chris Navarrete, and it will be a throw-in for Salina Central. And it comes, and back it goes. Winner advances to the championship game on Saturday at 3 o'clock, and the loser will play at 1 in the consolation game. Both of those games will be on the East Field, assuming the weather improves by then and the field dries out by then. And there's a long shot over everything, off the foot that time of Mark Grammer. And it is beginning to rain, folks, just like we predicted. Daniel Rivas on the far side sends one up. And we have a whistle and a foul called on Northwest. There's a long shot and a nice save by Fisher that time. He was all over that one. And he decides to play the short route and dish it off to Sam Mueller on the near side. And the breeze is definitely cooler than it was 10 minutes ago. And there's one kicked out of play by Landenberger. Looked for somebody to pass to. Found nobody, so he got rid of it. The umbrellas are out here at Carpenter Stadium as the rain now is falling. Here's one all the way back to Grant Shepard. He'll play it and send it over here on the near side to Liam Foley. Foley pops it in the air. And Carson Arndt gets a foot on it, pops it in the air, goes for the header and misses, and now Mark Grammer takes charge. And there are sheets of rain now coming down here at Carpenter Stadium. They will not stop the game for rain. They will stop it if there's any thunder or lightning in all of this. And if there is, there will be a 30-minute delay. We don't want any lightning strikes. I got things to do tonight. This one goes out of play. It'll belong to the Grizzlies for a throw-in near the corner. Daniel Rivas is going to take charge of that. And advantage called, no foul. This one goes over the goal line. That should be a corner as well. And to show you what I know, it's a goal kick. Sure. Yeah, if you need to. Yeah, we starting to get wet in here? Yeah, computer's still dry. I can always close the window a little bit for me if it starts. The rain is not blowing into the press box, folks. We have the windows open. What are you trying to do? You want to? It won't raise any higher. I think it's as high. I think it's as high as it'll go, unless you might turn this one and see if it'll go up a little bit.
So this is fine. It works fine. I just wasn't sure.
Oh, look at that! Something I didn't know about our tripod. Picture's still great there, Mr. Darnell. And the rain is it's blowing in sheets out there. And the wind is blowing from right to left. So the wind is in the face of the Grizzlies. There's a long one over the top of the crossbar, and it will be a goal kick. Grizzlies Soccer on the Internet being brought to you by Regional Contractors, LLC of Lenexa, Kansas. The regional team is with you every step of the way. We thank them for their support of Grizzly Soccer. Salina Central doing a great job of working the ball up, but this one goes over the goal line. It will be another goal kick for Andrew Fisher and company. And Andrew's going to take it himself. Oh, that should be I would think that would be a goal kick, not a punt. It is. Had me going. 29 and change remaining here. We're tied at 1. There are no ties in the Titan Classic, by the way. There will be a winner today. DeRath, give and go in the direction of Ortiz. He couldn't get to it. Morales sends one forward. Rejected, comes back now the other way. Some pressure defense being applied by the Grizzlies here. Rivas back there wins it. Vandenberger sends it to Morales. Nice play that time by Navarrete to takes the ball away from a red shirt. Plays one forward. Ortiz can't control it. He's called for the foul. And here comes Salina. Central back with it. Next time we get a stoppage of play here, we only have one camera to work with. We're poor, and there's a shot I want to get. We'll get it to you next time there's a stoppage of any kind. Assuming the shot is still available. There's a shot and off the post! I think Andrew gave up on that one. I think he thought it was wide. And it hit the post, goes out of bounds. Wow, that was a break for us. Liam Foley with it. so far in this half. There's a shot and a score. Don't know who got the goal, but I couldn't see his number. Did you see his number? Open the door and ask them real quick who scored. Goal comes with 27:08 remaining. Grammer. Mark Grammer, number 25, the dangerous one, scores that one. And Grizzlies kick it off here. Sam Mueller with it. And the Grizzlies find themselves trailing for the first time today. A lot of soccer left to be played here. And here comes Salina Central back with it again. Navarrete wins it. Nice job. He sends one on the forward now to Ortiz. Ortiz tried to get it to Durath, but unable to do so, and coming away with it again is Salina Central. They send him on the center. Navarrete intercepts it. Nice play to get it up forward. And Durath has it and then lost it. Do me a favor, pick up the entire thing and aim it at that light over there. I want them to see the rain. Now you can see how hard it's raining, folks. That's good. I don't want them to miss a goal if there is one. There's a shot and a save by Andrew and a rebound and a score.
I'm pretty sure I got that. So
I think you did. First shot was by Grammer, and the goal scorer. Huh? No goal? I'll be darned. You're right. They didn't give it to him. They must have called a foul or something that I missed. My apologies on that. I just assumed that was a good goal. Unless they called offside because it hit the post. Someone could have been offside when it hit the post. So it's still a 2-1 game. Free kick coming here. Ball being played in the middle, fought for by both teams. And that one was intended for Nolan Foley, but he overlet him. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Grizzlies. It is coming down in buckets now, folks. And a bad throw called, and a good call that was, because that was a, that was a poor throw on the part of the Grizzlies. This one goes over the goal line, and it will be a corner kick for Salina Central. Thanks, Greg. And we're starting to get wet in here, so we're going to have to rearrange our furniture a little bit, and I guess yours truly will have to stand. Corner kick coming. I believe it's Aaron Wilson taking the kick, but I'm not sure. Into the air it goes. Cleared out by the Grizzlies. Can they win the ball? And the answer is no. It'll go out of play. It will belong to Salina Central. And boy, is it raining hard now. This is the final game of the day on this field, so, and it doesn't matter because it is turf. Well, there was a picture on the internet this morning of the multi-purpose field complex, and there's lightning. They're going to call the game here. Or they should. There's the thunder that accompanies it. And they've called the game. They've stopped play. We're in official lightning delay, and the lightning delay is 30 minutes minimum. So, well, they're going. What are they doing? I don't know what the what the deal is with that. I mean, there's lightning close by. They've got to stop this. .22 remaining here in the second half. Grizzlies trail by 1. There's a crossing pass and intercepted there nicely by Andrew Fisher. Good play by the sophomore goalkeeper for the Grizzlies. Northwest trying to take advantage of the sloppy conditions and maybe get a slop goal. Ball takes a funny bounce, slips off hands, whatever. This one's going to go out of play. Nice try by Carson Arndt to chase it down, but it will belong to Salina Central. There is now standing water in past the end zone in both and in the track. And what are we doing now? Well, we have a stoppage of play. What I don't know is if they've called the game off or if they just delayed it. We'll find out here as soon as we can. I'm hoping all they did was delay it.
Is there a difference between 2 and 3 whistles?
Say what?
Is there a difference between 2 and 3 whistles? Oh, yeah.
Well, 3 whistles would terminate the game completely. How many did they do?
3.
Now that's an indication that the game is over.
Might have been 2, but they're taking their backs and stuff.
We're going to leave it right here. You're going to let you watch the rain. I'm going to go next door and see if the official folks in the next room can tell me if we're done or if we're just in a delay. So stand by. I'll tell you what we'll do here while we're doing that. We owe you a break anyway. Let's give you one. We'll be right back. This is Grizzlies Boys Soccer.
Ball game being played on a Friday night in Kansas. In fact, it's a crash course in cooperation and teamwork. It's a test of dedication, determination, and drive. It's character development in action. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think about this. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students who participate in school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. At the same time, playing sports helps teach lessons not covered in the classroom. Lessons like tolerance, respect for the rules, and the importance of supporting your community. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are back at Carpenter Stadium, where, as you can see, it is coming down in buckets, ladies and gentlemen, and we are in a rain delay. I would expect that the delay will be 30 minutes because by rule, if there's lightning, it has to be a minimum 30-minute delay. Both teams have cleared the field. I'm sure they're under the grandstand below us, and we are up here in the broadcast booth, if you will. And the other issue I have is our time window, because our time window is set to expire at 8 o'clock. which would have been 30 minutes past the conclusion of the game. Would have given us time for overtime. So if we get in a position where we go past 8 o'clock, we may have to stop and restart the broadcast. I haven't figured that one out yet. I'm actually going to check with our good friends at Blue Frame Technologies and see if we can find out the answer to that question. What we're going to do, I think, at this point is just leave you where we are. Again, we are in a rain delay. I think it's kind of obvious, but I can get a picture of what's going on. We'll come back here in about 5 minutes and pick it up and let you know what the status is. So in the meantime, go get yourself something to drink out of the fridge, leave your computer running, and we'll be back here at 7:20 to give you an update. Stay with us. Welcome back to Carpenter Stadium with producer-engineer Greg Darnell. This is Kevin Arkin. And what you're seeing, folks, is rain and plenty of it. The field itself, I know we're showing you the light standards so you can see the rain through the lights, but the field now is a lake, absolute lake. And you can see Jack Fincham running across there. And Greg's going to get you a zoom-in shot there. There's Greg. Jack Fincham, I have no idea what he's doing. Obviously, there's something on the bench he wants. But right now now there's lightning again, and he's bringing the team cooler. I guess teams are going to get a drink. We just have some lightning and thunder, so now we know that we are going to be at least 30 more minutes, because it has to be 30 minutes from the last strike. So the earliest we can resume play now is 7:55 p.m. would be the earliest that we can resume. Now, we do have one problem, and it's a technical problem that is so new to Blue Frame Technologies, our provider. Even they don't know what's going to happen, and that is that the original, when the game was set up on the internet, a game time block was set up, if you will, that ends at 8 o'clock Central Time. We do not know if we stay on the air, or if we try to stay on the air past 8 o'clock, if YouTube, who is carrying the game, will continue with us, or if they are going to cut us off at 8 o'clock. We're going to find out. We've actually got it. Greg's figured it out, how to get it set up here, so that we can see. And if he loses his picture at 8 o'clock, we are going to set up a second broadcast real quick, and we will start a second broadcast, okay, which will require you to move over. And we'll warn you of that here as we get closer to 8 o'clock. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and leave the mic turned up so that you know we're actually here. Although I got the impression they're calling the thing off here. Let me see if I can find that out. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a minute. Looks like they're packing up shop. They call it off. Yeah, it is official. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the word has just been given. The game is called. It is an official game. The final score, Salina Central 2 and Wichita Northwest 1 in a rain-shortened contest. Sorry about that. Sorry we couldn't give you the full 80 minutes. But if you look out the windows and you see what we're seeing here, you can understand why they called it off. And I'm going to open the window briefly here so you can actually see the rain without looking at the glass, not much as I'm going to do because it's blowing in here now. So our next game, let's find that out here. We weren't prepared for this, so bear with me. We will be playing for third place on Saturday at 1 o'clock on the East Grass Field. That's what the schedule says. We fully intend to webcast the game. There are two things that may hinder that from happening. One is the weather. This monsoon that we're having here this week, which continues tonight, is supposed to continue throughout the rest of the week, although it's supposed to let up for the next couple days, which doesn't help us any. Saturday, the remnants of Tropical Storm Gordon are supposed to hit Kansas, and we're supposed to have rain like this on Saturday. If they do, we can't play on the East Field. We'll have to just post when we're going to play. Okay? And then what that posting is will determine whether or not we have the webcast. The other thing is somewhat personal, and it has to do with yours truly. I'm going in for a medical procedure tomorrow morning. And what I have been told is that I will have to at least spend the night at Wesley tomorrow night. If I'm not feeling good on Saturday, we're not doing a webcast. I guess that's the only thing I can say. I don't know how I'm going to feel because I don't know how this is going to come out. Everybody says that you can go back to work 36 hours after the procedure. So if that's the case, I'm fully planning on doing a webcast on Saturday with the help of Mr. Darnell here. But we'll just have to see. And we'll post that on the webpage and on the Facebook page just exactly what's happening with that. So for now, we're gonna shut it down as well and pack it up. Again, final score in a rain-shortened contest, Salina Central 2, Wichita Northwest 1. Salina Central advances to the championship game. The Grizzlies will play for third on Saturday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with us during the rain delay while we got things sorted out. Glad you could be with us. And until next time, for Greg, I'm Kevin Arkin saying good night from Carpenter Stadium.